Here we are Saturday morning outside on the deck. It's a beautiful day. All the neighbors are making noise, so I hope it doesn't interrupt us. The end of chapter 10 of Matthew says, "Whoever receives you receives me, and whoever receives me receives him who sent me. The one who receives a prophet because he is a prophet will receive a prophet's reward. And the one who receives a righteous person because he is a righteous person will receive a righteous person's reward. And whoever gives one of these little ones even a cup of cold water because he is a disciple, truly I say to you, he will by no means lose his reward." So there we've got some similar verses kind of piled together, and as I say, I think Matthew collects these things and does the best he can to put them into a discourse. Jesus says, if you receive the one I send, then you receive me, and if you receive me, then you receive the one who sent me. So there's a kind of a continuity, an unbroken stream, as it were, between the Father and these disciples who are sent, which means that the message is the same. You receive the message from these disciples, and you're receiving my message, and you're receiving the message from the Father in a kind of continuity. Same way with the prophets, he says, and even just righteous people. So if you receive these people, then you receive the message of those who sent them, which is the way the ancient world, and I suppose our world, tended to think of ambassadors and diplomats and people who were sent in general. If you came in the name of the king with a message, it was as though the king himself was giving you the message. I think it's the same thing with our diplomats. They show up and they speak in the name of the United States government, and what they say is taken as a word from the United States government, from the president or whoever, and so they have that kind of authority. And it's the same way in the ancient world, and it's the same way with Jesus' apostles that he sends out. They come in my name and they give you my message. Then there's that little verse about the cold water. If you give somebody a cup of cold water, which is to say you take pity on them and help them in their suffering, even that is enough to get you the reward. Now there's scenes in movies. I was looking at, if you look at Ben-Hur, when Jesus is carrying the cross up through the streets of the city, and he falls, and they recruit Simon to carry the cross for him. Meanwhile, the character in the movie, Ben-Hur, gets some water out of a well that's there and takes it over and gives it to him. And there are other movies and stuff that have similar scenes. And so what we see Hollywood picking up on is this notion of doing something merciful for somebody who is in a moment of difficulty. Well, look around. Half of the United States is flooded and the other half has no power, and some people have both problems. So there are lots and lots of people around us who need a cup of cold water just now. And if we can give that to them, that's what we should do. And if they can receive it graciously, then good for them. And that's how it all should work together. So on Monday, we'll start with Matthew 11, and it, as I recall, it changes a little bit. We end the discourse. Let me look very quickly. Yeah, we get to some more stories and stuff. So we'll do that on Monday. Have a great weekend. See you then.